when I've been like, why aren't white people saying something? Here y'all come. I love too that your book expands on on so many of the topics that on the blog, I'm always like, oh, that's it. There's so much more. And so here we are.
I think it's the book we wish we had when we started teaching. It was all the things that we learned along the way that somebody could have told us a long time ago, that could have made us much better teachers.
And I wonder if you two could say more about why white people need to work on their own whiteness.
It was a really mind-boggling shift for me to understand that whiteness was the norm, that had never even crossed my mind. Deciding what skills we value, what books we read, how we evaluate teachers, colleagues, how we deal with families, right? And what we think is appropriate for family interaction. All of it is sort of predicated on this bed of whiteness that never was made explicit to me. And so I really was like, we need to shine a light on this so that everybody knows this is a thing, that it's not just neutral, that we're starting from a set of values. And how do we make that explicit?
We also run racial affinity groups here in the Pacific Northwest. And so I get to talk to young white students, like 9 and 10-year-olds all the time. And what's so interesting is that there's such a fear that we're going to guilt and shame white kids if we talk to them about race. That's going to make them feel guilty and shameful. And I always say, you know what they feel bad about, what they feel guilty and shameful about? Feel bad about racism. They know it's operating. They see their friends of color being treated in different ways. They watch the adults turning themselves inside out, not able to deal with racial issues. And they want tools. They want information. They want it to be explicit. And they want to know how they can be anti-racist.
And this is what keeps us up at night, because if we have another generation of white students who are incapable of talking about race, then nothing changes. And so that really is one of the driving missions of the work that we do, is how do we set up white students to be able to not only withstand some racial stress, but actually start to talk in depth and dismantle racism.
What I also love, I love many things about this book, and I particularly love how you stage the systems of whiteness to demonstrate how schools are raced and have a racial identity, which I didn't really, I was like, that's right, absolutely. So I wonder if you could talk about why you staged it this way, and what you're hoping folks really get from that.
We want to illustrate the contours of how whiteness often operates as unnamed, unmarked, and passes for normal, not only for individuals, but for educational institutions. Similar to the way many white people struggle with I'm racist versus I'm not racist, institutions can be limited in their perspective of what it means to be anti-racist. I
would love to chat all night long, and I also know that we are on a limit, so I'm going to say thank you, and I'm going to encourage everyone watching and who will watch this back to really go out and buy your book today, and really to start doing the work and using the amazing resources and tools that you have collected together so that we can all move forward together.